What is up, Lex City, and welcome back to Spokast. I took a week off. I did not release an episode last week. Had a lot of stuff going on with Thanksgiving, and I got sick, got that cold that's going around, and I just didn't have time to edit the show I wanted to get out. But here I am. I'm back, and this week on the show, I have comedian, illustrator, artist, Josiah Carlson on to talk all about his events, Funny, Joke, and the Spokane Comedy Film Festival. First, Funny, Joke is the first Thursday of every month at the Garland Theater. It is a stand-up comedy experience where Josiah intermixes video, improv in with the stand-up comedians that he has join him at the Garland. This month, the amazing Sam Miller is going to be headlining the show, and he is freaking hilarious. Go check him out on Instagram or TikTok, wherever he's at. Sam Miller, funny guy. And this monthly stand-up show that Josiah started is just, it's so freaking cool. What he's doing with this like more immersive experience for a stand-up is like, this isn't like the type of show you're going to go see at the Spokane Comedy Club. It's a little bit different, but you know, the basis is still stand-up comedy. And from what I've been hearing from people is that it's freaking hilarious. I'm going to be at this week's show, and you should too. It's nothing better. There's nothing better than laughing your ass off for an hour and a half. It's so good for your soul. And we need to sell out the Garland this month to go see Sam Miller and all that Josiah is putting into his monthly stand-up show, Funny, Joke. Again, it's at the Garland. It's at 7 p.m. That's when it starts. And go get some popcorn, get some beers, and enjoy some comedy. And then on top of that, he has the Spokane Comedy Film Festival. This year, or I should say, next year's iteration, 2024, will be the third annual, and it is held also at the Garland Theater, and it will be on Friday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. as well. And this is the Spokane Comedy Film Festival is just full of shorts from local comedians who are making some really funny videos. And a lot of my friends from last year competed in it. Steve Dobbs, Hugh Russell. And then this is just a really cool opportunity for you to go see local comedians creating cool stuff. Like this is what Spokast is all about, is this showcasing what people in our community are doing to make it better. And what Josiah is doing in the comedy world is just really, really cool and is much needed in Spokane. So I would recommend you to go check out both those things. I'm really excited for you to listen to this episode. Talking with Josiah was a blast, and I just love talking to comedians. They're so freaking funny, and you know, secretly, I would love to be a comedian or a stand-up comic. Someday I'll do it. We'll see. Maybe going to see this comedy show on Thursday will inspire me. Well, before we get into the show, let us thank our sponsor, Main Market Food Co-op. It was founded in 2010 with just 700 member owners, and in these last 13 years, it has become a vibrant part of downtown Spokane with over 9,000 member owners today. Its focus is on equal respect for its consumers, producers, and the environment. Main Market is dedicated to offering the highest quality foods with the smallest footprint while supporting the strength of our local food economy. As a full-service grocery store, bakery, and deli, Main Market Food Co-op is your one-stop shop for all of your grocery needs. So whether you're looking for a delicious meal or a well-stocked grocery store, Main Market Food Co-op is the place for you. Visit them today on the corner of Main and Brown in downtown Spokane. This podcast could also not be done without my amazing Patreon supporters, and they are Joe Van Voorhis, Elizabeth Geyer, Abby Pointer, Lee Wick, Gina Campbell, Tyler Poole, Sarah Thorpe, Judy Pointer, Zach Hawkins, Amber Sparks, Luke Baumgarten, Valerie Ozier, Alex Leah, Nick Spanger, and Elizabeth and Bill Pointer. Again, thank you all so much for being Patreon supporters. If you want to support what I'm doing here at Spokast, go to www.patreon.com/Spokast and become a Spokastanite and support me on Patreon. Well, I will not keep you any longer. Here is Josiah Carlson, comedian, illustrator, artist. This is Spokast. I'm sitting here with Josiah Carlson, and you are a comedian, animator. You do a lot of different things in the comedy world here in Spokane, and I'm very excited to have you on. Thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Are you from Spokane, or did you move here? What brought you here?
For the first 10 years of my life, we moved every 2 years.
Okay.
But then we finally settled down, so I've been here a long time at this point. Yeah.
Can you can I have you scoot up? Perfect.
Hello.
The closer you can be to the mic, the better.
Cool.
So sorry, I think I got distracted. What year did you get to Spokane? When did you land here?
Oh man, hard years. I'm gonna go with 94.
Oh, 94. So really long. So almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 37.
You're 37. Okay, I'm 39. So
nice.
We have the same probably time here in Spokane. Where did you guys move to?
We started out over at 9 Mile for the first year there.
Yeah.
So 9 Mile Falls, and then from there. Yeah, we did far north, kind of South Hills where I live now.
Yeah.
At one point, we lived in the what'd you call it? The middle? I don't.
Yeah. What high school did you go to? What school district were you in?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Meade High School.
Meade High School.
Yeah.
Oh, you graduated a year after Adam Morrison, or a year before Adam Morrison, or after, I guess I would say.
I appreciate you assuming I graduated. Yes.
Okay. Did you not graduate?
No, I did. I did, and I thank you for assuming that.
We're rivals. I went to Mount Spokane.
Nice. Yeah.
So I don't know.
You just had Adam Morrison on, right?
I do a podcast with Adam Morrison.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
And and I watched Adam Morrison play basketball in high school, and we all hated him. And then when he went to Gonzaga, everyone loved him, or at least I did. And so you're a comedian. Where did this come from? You're a very funny guy. Is it a family thing where you just try to entertain people? You hear all the comedian stories. It's always the life of the party, or trying to make everyone laugh.
Yeah, where it came from, probably extreme insecurity. Probably, I'm definitely one of those guys who it's like a defense mechanism or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just nothing better than screwing around with your friends and just dying laughing with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always loved funny people and ended up with a lot of them in my life, and staying in Spokane like this, I still have a lot of my best friends I've known for forever now at this point.
Yeah.
And, I think we all kind of cultivated a unique kind of sense of humor. But actually doing stand-up, actually trying to make something out of it, that's all pretty new.
That's all new? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about I'm officially 3 years in as of last month. So.
Oh wow, that is
I'm a baby.
You're very new to it. I thought you'd just been doing this game for years.
Yeah, no.
who are your some of your favorite stand-ups?
I love Zach Galifianakis a lot.
Live at I think Live at the Purple Onion
that
is one of my favorite stand-ups.
So good,
it's
man.
on net. You can go watch it on Netflix. It's
so good.
But. Oh yeah, he's
Fuji's and Funyuns. It's so good.
I love his between two for he just everything he does is brilliant, and I used to get that from people. People used to say I look like Zach Galifianakis.
I can see that. Yeah.
And then, but now everyone tells me I laugh like Seth Rogen, and which might come out. But what else were you watching? Were you watching SNL? Were you on Comedy Central? Dave Chappelle? What was it?
Huge Conan O'Brien fan.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I try to ape his hair, can't do it. Can't pull it off.
Yeah, you kind of trying to do it.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I used to watch Conan O'Brien when I was a little kid. I was probably 1994, 95. I would to stay up all night because I did not want to go to sleep. I did not want to go to school the next day. Had a TV in my room.
Right.
So I would usually watch late night and then I get the night show and then late night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Then I would say a lot of my comedy comes from Conan as well.
Oh, yeah.
He's the goat. And he's one
the best,
his podcast, and listening to his podcast. Is when he gets someone on that can riff with him. There's not a better there's one he did with Harrison Ford, and it is the way they riff together is is amazing. It was like there wasn't much of a podcast there. It was just like them making fun of each other the whole time.
Yeah.
But it was classic. I love that. Early Spokane memory. Like what do you remember about growing up here? Where were you hanging out?
Oh man, it's probably a lot of people give this answer, but I distinctly remember being absolutely mind blown by the garbage goat. I just thought it was the coolest thing.
That was so cool. Yeah. My dad would always like freak me out. Like he'd always like act like his arms getting, it would freak me out every time. Yeah. I do it to my kids now and they freak out. So that you know what's funny? I added this new question and I was going to say, what's the most Spokane thing about Spokane? And the garbage goat. This is a new question I'm going to start asking people. Yeah. I feel like the garbage goat's going to be one of those things that comes up. But
that's
like
top. Yeah.
Getting into the hot list of like Spokane, like what is one of the most Spokane things about Spokane?
I might just start listing landmarks. I mean, the Red Wagon is very Spokane. You know what I mean?
Riverfront Park is very Spokane. Yeah.
I work backwards from there. It's so hard to put your finger on. There's something really, it's a weird intersection in Spokane. Like it's like, man, I wish I could put it into words. How do you define it? You know what I mean? It's a strange spot. Like it's weird.
Me and my another podcast I do, we've labeled it as a vortex.
Yes.
It means Spokane is a vortex. Like if you leave Spokane, there's probably a high percentage chance that you're coming back here.
I've seen that, yeah.
Like I have a friend who's moving here from England. She lived here for maybe 4 years while she's in college. She moved back to Tacoma, married a Brit, lives in England now, and now they're moving to Spokane. And I know someone who might be moving here from Atlanta. Like and they had only lived here for 3 years. Like it's just a vortex. Like people want to be here, and people who want to leave it just get sucked right back into it.
Yeah.
So I think that might be what you're looking for. Getting to like the other questions on the hot list, like coffee. Where you get coffee at? I see you have
Dutch Brothers.
Dutch Brothers.
Yeah. I don't discriminate. I will drink coffee anywhere and out of anything. Yeah. I actually just found out the perfect grind at my house. So right now, my house is my favorite place.
Your house is your favorite place. That's like when people are on Food Finder, like they ask, like, "Where's the best pasta?" My house. Like, I'm not coming to your house to drink coffee though. I'm just
yeah. Well, I will say,
what do beans you use?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. F-bomb. That's what I was gonna say. F-bomb from Rose House. Oh my god, it's so good. It's messed up. I need it every day.
Breakfast or brunch?
Oh man. Well, this isn't very Spokane-ish of me, but that Taco Bell breakfast.
Oh my god!
That Taco Bell breakfast crunch wrap.
I haven't had the. Oh my god! Now I got to go get that tomorrow morning. I discovered the Taco Bell breakfast 5 months ago,
right?
And that was like I think it launched about 8 months ago, and it is so freaking good.
It's messed up. It's not right,
and it's cheap, and it's not like it's very very cheap. You can go you can have a $5 bill, and you can get like 2 little breakfast burritos. That's a great little tiny breakfast.
It's dangerous. Bad for the waistline. Much.
Beer.
Ooh. I got to go with Iron Goat. I'm a huge Iron Goat fan. Yeah.
Our friends from Atlanta were here, and that was like the one like brewer we had to go to.
It's so good.
It is very very good. I just went to Yaya out in the valley.
I haven't been yet.
Yeah, Brewing. It's a nice little space. It's a cool little space. It's in a real weird little section in the valley on like Montgomery. But like they're fluffy puff. I think it's fluffy puffy something. Like it's called like an NE IPA. I don't know what that means, but it's very very tasty.
Interesting.
But yeah has this great beers. Pizza.
Ooh. Like what kind of pizza or a specific pizza spot? Papa Murphy's.
Okay, yeah.
I can't help it, man.
Yeah,
It's too good.
Take and bake.
Yeah.
We used to get Papa Murphy's like on the north side all the time. Like that was it. We would get. That would be like if we were driving home, we'd get that, or we'd get Pipeline.
Yeah,
I love that.
Oh, Pipeline.
Their zesty crust is like to die for.
Yeah. Oh man, I've been sleeping on Pipeline.
You really have.
Yeah, gotta get back in.
Burger.
These don't have to be local.
If you want it
better if it's local.
I mean, Whatever you want to
If we're
do.
talking like local, you can't beat Dick's, I think.
Yeah.
But chains, I'm not proud of this. I have a problem with Carl's Jr.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's your weapon of choice there?
Oh man, if only I had just the one weapon of choice.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah, usually I'll chase a double Western cheeseburger with a big Carl, and then I'll.
Oh my God, yeah.
I have done that once, and it was regrettable. It was too many.
If I'm getting a fast food burger, I don't do many fast food burgers. Everyone's been talking about Zips and on the
How
show,
could I forget Zips, man?
and I never really liked Zips.
Really?
Just because like it is so. When I go to McDonald's, I'm getting a McDonald's burger wherever I'm going. When I go to Zips, it's gonna be different everywhere in Spokane.
That's true.
And then like everyone's like, oh, I like this Zips on the north side, or like this one in the valley, or this one on Trent. And I'm like, that's if I don't like the Zips near me, and I never like the Zips near me, then I'm not gonna ever really like Zips. I
do this thing anytime I'm at Zips. I ask for the patty to be well done, and what I really mean by that is just I think it's the inconsistency you're talking about.
Yeah,
like, I found if I ask it to be well done, it's like the same everywhere. But
that's good.
What about Delish? How could I forget Delish? I'm taking back Dick's.
Okay,
Delish beats Dick's. Yeah,
Delish is amazing.
Yeah.
I love Delicious. I used to run social media for them, and I used to eat way too many doubles. I would eat like a double twice a week, and I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah, but maybe you even know him. My buddy Jamin worked there for a long time, and he ate an insane amount of like just 4 or 5 patty monster creations.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's
legendary.
I will say Delicious is good, but like when I'm done eating Delicious, I kind of feel it.
Yeah. No, it's a heavy trip. Sure.
Sweet treats.
Ooh, man. I'm more of a savory guy. I'm trying to think of what. I typically drink my sugars. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love
this
these.
one's sugar free.
Oh, sugar.
Yeah, it's still bad for you.
I get the blended ones.
Yeah.
The blended Rebels.
Yes.
Got to be sure not to say Rebel.
It's not Red Bull, of course not. No, it's Rebel. Yes.
It's very smart. But I love the blended like blue ones. Like they're very, very good.
Oh yeah, the blue raspberry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I had 11 years without any nicotine. Very happy about that.
Oh, nice.
But when
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. When the way I stepped off is I went from cigarettes to e-cigarettes, and my flavor of choice was called Energy Cow. That's what they called it.
Energy Cow.
That was their workaround for Red Bull because it tastes exactly like Red Bull.
That's fun.
But Energy Cow.
That's hilarious.
It's a smart marketing.
We're gonna move on to like places you would go in Spokane. Shopping.
Oh, okay. Ooh. I hate this, but I'm kind of almost exclusively an online shopper anymore. I'm trying to think like.
Amazon's pretty local.
Right, that's a good point.
They employ a lot of us here in Spokane.
Yeah, it's really good for the planet.
Hey, at least they're getting closer to us. They're not like shipping like from all over the world.
Yeah, we lost all the businesses, but we have a distribution center. Perfect. I'm gonna go. This is not true, but I'm gonna say Auntie's bookstore. Actually, no, I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna go with Boo Radley's because I'm not a well-read man. That's a lie.
I mean, I like going into Auntie's.
I like going into Auntie's, but I don't typically.
I like going into Uncle's more because they have like the games. Like,
true, yeah.
But I was in Boo Radley's last week, and my kids always go in there and they like want like 10 things. I'm like, no, we don't need to buy this $1 little. They have these little like finger puppets that you can buy.
Yeah.
And we don't need to buy like this $2 finger puppet. It's just gonna end up like I'm gonna end up throwing it away because you forgot about it.
Yeah.
But it is a good place to get like anything local, like local shirts, local hats, like there's some fun. They have a lot of fun things in there.
Yeah. And speaking of local shops, I can't believe I didn't say the From Here store. Of course, you know what I mean? Because
I saw your face in the From Here store.
I'm in the From Here store.
Oh, what do you?
That's the answer to my. Can I go back?
Well, let's rewind.
I only shop at the From Here store.
I was like, I saw your face.
Yeah.
You in there, and I was like, oh, I wonder what Josiah sells in here. What do you sell at From Here?
Oh, so if you scan around the store, anything that doesn't look like fine art might be mine. Like anything that looks really sloppy, I can't even describe it. There's like this bright yellow shirt that has a really crude drawing of a person's face.
Okay.
That one's mine. There's one that is supposed to be Commander Worf from the Star Trek universe.
Oh.
Again, drawn very poorly, very hastily. That's a black shirt with white. I have a whole line of Danny DeVito illustrations. Very obsessed with Danny DeVito.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's some stickers for Danny in there. There's at least 6 different prints for Danny, but yeah, it's all just like cartoon illustration prints, and I don't know why they let me in there, man. I honestly don't.
Everything in there that is always just very like Spokane centric.
Yeah,
and like this is not. And I honestly I go in there all the time. I feel like I've missed your stuff. I need to be more intentional next time I go in there.
Yeah, you will not miss if you look for the ugliest, most yellow shirt, and you'll be like, that's his.
That's
There's
okay.
no way that's anybody else's. No one else would do that. Yeah.
Neighborhood.
Ooh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Perry District.
Oh, that's a good neighborhood.
Yeah, I spent like a year there, and I still miss it.
Yeah,
I don't live there now, but it was good when I was there.
I would imagine if you lived there and then you had to move away from it, you'd miss it. I never lived there, and so I love going there. But I never really missed it because I never had it at my like disposal every day.
Yeah.
Park.
I gotta go with Holmberg Park. It's way out north.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I used to go sledding out on
Yes!
Holmberg Hill.
Yeah, man. Suicide Hill. Or so many different names for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So good. Because that was when I was a kid, growing up in the meat area and everything. That was like a 4-minute walk from my house.
Oh, really? So you live close to it?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time at that park. It was cool.
And it has a pool. It was a great place. So visual artist. You can say yourself.
Yeah.
You mean you can't?
Wait.
No, but
let's see. Visual artist. I'm gonna go with Nick Millara.
Oh, he's
you know Nick.
I know Nick. Yeah,
his work is remarkable. I'm lucky enough. I work at a place called 7-2. I've been there 15 years as of tomorrow. Actually.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so lucky. I'm very happy about that.
I wanted to. I was going to kind of get in this early. I forgot to put a note about it.
But I work with Nick there. Yeah,
you work. Oh, okay, cool.
He's
yeah,
incredible.
Nick probably doesn't remember me. We went to collective camp out, and he was on my team.
Yeah.
And he was a very very soft-spoken gentleman, and you would never know he's the greatest artist in the world.
I don't think he knows he's the greatest artist in the world. He's the most humble. Oh my god, I want to be that guy. That guy's yeah.
At this collective camp out, they do these things where we have a blank canvas, you have like a topic, and then everyone on your team has to draw part of it. And the 2 artists that I had on my team were him and then John Devaney.
Oh man!
And then somebody.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it wasn't fair at all.
That's not fair.
Everyone was looking at our team
that's not fair.
And all I did was I literally painted in the lines a couple of times. But watching them work together and make this thing, it was freaking amazing.
You mentioned John Devaney. I got to give him a shout out. He's the reason I'm in the From Here store.
Oh,
he's the reason I created an Instagram because he's like, your drawings are good. You should put it on Instagram. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But he inspired everything. All the shirts and merch that I sell, I printed in his basement using his equipment. Yeah, he's the same age as me, but he's kind of like my dad. He's just so much better.
He has very much dad vibes from
he's
John.
A very giving dude.
Well, he's a dad too. He has kids.
He's got a lot of kids, including me.
He's a very He needs to come on the podcast because every time I see him, hey, I'm going to get you on the podcast. He's like, okay, let's do it. And then we never do it.
Yeah. LightningDeluxe.com.
Yeah, Lightning Deluxe. And musical artist.
Ooh. And is this local?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Itchy Kitty.
Oh, yeah. They're really good.
Yeah.
And then last question is event.
Oh, am I allowed to say my own?
That's kind of what leads
yeah,
into
okay,
this.
I don't want to be corny, but I would say it's a dead even tie between the yearly Spokane Comedy Film Festival and the all-new show at the Garland, the monthly comedy show, Funny, 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 Joke, Joke, Joke.
Yeah, well, let's start there. Every first Friday of the month at the Garland.
Every first Thursday.
Oh, sorry, first
Friday would be a lot easier to get people there. I wish it wasn't Friday.
Yeah,
couldn't swing it.
Excuse me, but what is what you started this about 3 months ago?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so yeah, basically, Garland looking to get some people in seats and stuff like that. Looking at their week, Thursdays were not great, and so there was an opportunity, is there something we could do?
Mm-hmm.
I had done the film festival 2 years there, and it had been a good success for everybody. Got a lot of people out and everything like that. And so I was approached, is there some sort of comedy something that you could do on Thursdays?
Yeah.
And so that ended up being the first Thursday of every month. It's a stand-up comedy show. But it's a little bit bait and switchy. There's definitely stand-up comedy, but there's roughly like 20 to 25 minutes of weird animated videos and strange gags that like last month I died. It was I don't know. I guess I should just explain it. Like basically, you remember Jurassic Park, like the scene where John Hammond is on the screen and he comes up as in real life John Hammond. He's like,
yes.
Oh, hello, John. And he like pricks his finger and all that.
Yeah.
I tried to recreate that moment using the projector. So basically I'm up there talking about how grateful I am and how crazy it is to be here on the Garland stage and how special the Garland is to me. I still remember seeing Jurassic Park here. And then as I'm saying that, I'm interrupted by pre-recorded John Hammond, which is also me. And he won't leave until I prick his finger. And the moment I prick his finger, he's like, "That hurt, John." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, from the movie. Okay, thanks, buddy. Thank you." And he said, "I said that hurt, John." And like, he eventually leaves and we think we've moved on and everything. I'm like, "Man, a night like tonight, it makes me feel alive. Do you feel alive, Spokane?" And then that's the cue for the next video pops up. And John Hammond's like, "I said that hurt, John." And he pricks me back and he ends up stabbing me through the chest. And so then I collapse on the ground and dead, basically. And then big screen John Hammond's like, "Oh no, I've done it again. I've done it again. You saw, he made me do it, John." And just like freaks out and everything. So as he's chaotically running away from the scene, I have 4 comic buddies of mine who come out dressed as EMT people and throw me on a stretcher. And one of the guys picks up the microphone at the floor. He's like, "I probably shouldn't say this, but he's dead." And it's like this really weird moment. They carry me out on the stretcher. And then, sorry if this is too long.
That was great.
But so then the Mr. DNA guy comes on the screen. He's like, "Oh my, death by murder." And right in the middle of all that, celebration of life. And so like, it's, the little animated DNA guy. So then he does this whole thing about, "Don't worry, audience. We can clone him using the power of dino DNA."
That's awesome.
And so then they recreate. So he gets a swab and he's incubating this egg. And this egg is sitting there with a timer. And so it still has 5 minutes before it'll hatch. And so he's like, "Shit, that's dead air. Say, I don't suppose any one of you paramedics has a type 5 you want to run." And so then one of the guys who just carried me out, who's pretending to be a paramedic, this local comic, Colton Drake, really funny guy, comes out, crushes it for 5 minutes, and, then the egg gets born. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. And then our headliner eventually, so then the whole show is hosted by this CG egg, which is horrifying. Like, it's like this dinosaur that didn't form correctly that's like mocap to my face. And so, so he's hosting the rest of the show. And then he did this, the dinosaur host goes back and forth when he brings up the headliner, and they have like a whole back and forth thing, which the headliner was able to get off book and memorize all of that like the night before.
Oh, wow.
Jada Esteban Estrada, major talent. I can't believe we got him on there. By the way, I dropped an S bomb earlier. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh, you can cuss on here.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
all
that's
right.
fine.
Well, that'll be my last one. I'll stay clean.
That's amazing.
That was a lot of talking,
That has
sorry.
that like has like like the Eric Andre vibes,
Yeah.
like kind of like you're going to something like you're expecting a comedy show, but you get
Yes.
a different experience, which is
Yeah.
awesome. That's really cool, and you animate all this.
Yeah.
That must take a while.
Yeah. I didn't come here to complain, but I think it's fair to be worried about me. I'm stretching myself too thin because I still work 40 hours a week, and I still, all these evenings I'm hitting the open mics. I travel out of town to do comedy and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know what I was thinking taking this on.
Yeah.
And then deciding like, oh yeah, I'm going to make brand new videos every month. Because I also do these fake, every month has a sponsor. None of them are ever real. But then they have like these video ads for these fake products. And
Yeah.
so producing those is insane, like that's just, yeah. I got weird there. You just made me think about the thing that's terrifying me. I don't know what the end is. I don't know how I'm gonna keep this up.
For sure. That's kind of
You can relate?
I can relate. Yeah. Like, I have my podcast that I produce, but then I also have Spokast that I produce.
Right.
And I kind of need to do that to do all the
You
other
produce all
things.
these too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. That's
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of do wear myself tooth and so I can relate.
Yeah, okay.
So this month you have Sam Miller.
Yes.
And he's really
Oh,
funny.
Man, he's amazing. I would highly recommend to anybody. We probably can't read that. He's got this comedy special, Round Trip. It just came out on Amazon Prime.
Oh, nice.
It's also available for purchase on iTunes. So funny. The dude, I want to say he's like 13, 14 years clean. He was living on the streets for a long time there. Had a pretty bad meth addiction, went through a lot of stuff, and has completely just made an incredible career out of kind of mining that material and that experience. And he's just so good. He's so funny. And I honestly can't believe we got him for the December show. I'm really grateful. He's that funny in real life too. He's just thoroughly that dude. And he is, I don't know. I just, I feel like I just want to be all these people that I'm meeting, man.
For sure. Well,
I'm jealous.
That's one. Well, part of
It's the bomb.
creating funny joke. I imagine. I
Yeah.
missed a joke in there.
Yeah,
But I imagine is being able to bring these comedians to Spokane.
Yeah.
To meet them,
Yeah.
and then also like introduce them to the people here, because a lot of the comedians that you bring in, they're touring or traveling, and not a lot of people in Spokane would know them, or maybe they do know them, and because they know comedy. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's so many levels to it, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, we got the Spokane Comedy Club here in Spokane, which is just so cool. Like, for the size of city that we are, to have a club like that, because it's one of, I think, like 9 total, the Bark Entertainment Network, and so they get major names and they tour through there, and so that's like a whole nother tier of comedians that are going to have a name recognition. Like, people go to the Spokane Comedy Club largely because it's famous people there, you know what I mean? And so there's a million degrees between like an open micer and somebody that's got like name recognition and stuff like that. So, tickets are $15 for the funny joke show. And so it's just one of those sort of things where Sam Miller is going to be famous. I'm quite sure of it. You know what I mean? He's already on his way. Like, if you Google Sam Miller, he's what pops up and stuff like that. But he's still, you know what I mean, kind of under the radar enough that I'm lucky enough to get him. So it's just trying to kind of find those diamonds in the rough. And that's just born out of networking and meeting people and hearing about like, well, you got to get this guy. This guy's really good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So do you meet a lot of your comedians on the road? Like, do you like going to Seattle? Where do you travel to when you're traveling outside of Spokane to do comedy?
My next out of town one is at a place called Jokers, which is only over in Richland, Washington.
Oh, okay.
The one before that was Big Fork, Montana. So far just kind of inland northwesty. I suppose Big Fork's the furthest any direction I've been from Spokane. So.
When you're describing your like style of comedy, like who would you describe? Like, I know you said Zach Galifianakis is inspiration, but like, is that your kind of delivery, or are you more a storyteller?
I love Mike Birbiglia. I would love to be a storyteller.
Yeah.
would love to get to that place. I kind of feel like it. I wish I had a model. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I just do weird stuff up there, and I'm not totally sure it is stand-up comedy.
I want to see you because like, is it? I mean, is it a character or is it yourself? You're just giving.
So for one of my more recent sets, I went up and I read a rage letter that I'd written for therapy, and so I'm really tried to realistically pretend to be this person, but then so I'm gonna read it now. Like, you don't have to get mad anymore. Dr. Kenny Weiss taught me that you could just write it down in a letter. He said I could swear, but I didn't swear in mine. And then I pull out the letter, and it's this hate letter towards my gym, and I'm complaining about my gym policies. But all the things I'm complaining about, like, clearly my character is the one in the wrong, and it's just all these outrageous things I'm doing. And so I like the set after that I did. I said the word doors. I think it was 63 times total. Like, and it works. Like, people laugh. Like, it is comedy, but I don't know what I don't know. You're just. Doing, I
mean, like, you're 3 years in, so like you're
I have normal stuff too. But
like, you're in like the beginnings of like trying to find
trying
yourself.
Everything out. Yeah.
Like, not all comedians are like. They're doing different things at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, when Mitch Hedberg doesn't become, I'm using a really bad example because not many people know who Mitch Hedberg is, but he's
look him up.
Look him up, but he's a one-liner comedian he passed away back in 2004.
Yeah.
But like, one-liner comedians are a different breed.
Oh yeah.
But like, have you tried one-liners? You ever?
Yeah, I've got some one-liners. I need to work more on that kind of stuff. I do. I'm kind of, it's kind of like, I like doing these weird kind of high concept like experiences. Like, people are like, what is going on right now? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
is this guy for real? I have one set that it's 9 minutes on horses. It's just like, and I keep talking about how much I care about horses, but then I list all these horrible things that happen to horses. I don't know. It's so I have some one-liners, but man, not like,
one-liners are tough.
One-liners are really tough. I have a lot of appreciation for someone like a Mitch Hedberg, and I also have a lot of appreciation for someone like Anthony Jeselnik, who is known for these really hardcore, kind of outrageous sounding things that are like shocking, but it's done in such a well-crafted way, and the target is always the right thing. Like,
yeah,
I really appreciate that, but I also would never attempt it myself. Like, there's just like because I just don't. You know, there's like just topics that are like touchy or anything like that. I don't approach. You know what I mean? Like, I don't talk. So I really, and that's supposed to be what you do in stand-up comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of
Anthony Jeselnik like definitely like pushes the line, and he talks about that a lot.
Yeah,
like he's okay with that too. Like, he's okay with being that comedian.
Yeah, and he is the king of that comedian, kind of like how, Jerry Seinfeld's like the king of that traditional kind of really tight, Anthony's the king of that, and Mitch is of one-liners,
Yeah.
Like, I really appreciate people who can do that. And maybe someday I'll be less of a chicken, but man, I just like a white, fat, cisgender male, straight, going up talking about the issues. It's just like, I'm scared, man.
And there's enough.
What do I have to say?
There's a lot of white males in comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we kind of take over. I say we, like, I'm in comedy, but there's a lot of white male comics.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, and that's just. There's not a ton of representation in comedy.
Yes.
And there needs to be more, obviously. I think that's,
Absolutely.
But you're trying to bring in comedians that are.
Yes, to your point. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really important to me to have that representation, and it's as much like about on one side of it, having people come in and have that representation is really important. But I also think it's important to try to curate a show that is like that all of the acts are welcoming and oh man, there's like a keyword I'm trying to think of. Inclusive.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
Because
I want their comedy to be kind-hearted And I don't think biggity stuff is funny.
No, it's not.
And I don't want to give it a stage. And so if I have any, you know what I mean, control of anything, it's really important to me to curate a show that's the targets are the right people. It's fun, it's light, it's kind-hearted, and we're not attacking people groups.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's just so much of that out there, and I'm not trying to condemn anybody, but it's definitely, it's just nothing I want to participate in, and it's something that I'd love to see less of, and I think that's where we're going, and so...
Definitely. I mean, I think there's a way for comedy to be funny without trying to target people, like, and make them feel lesser than, or just by making fun of a group of people. Because I mean, that's where it started. Like, it always was this like racism in comedy or bigotry in comedy. Like, it all comes from a place of like thinking you're better than.
Yeah, and it's just like this contrast of like us versus them, and that what's funny about it is that they're different, and that's the whole joke.
Yeah,
and it's just, you know, it's not something that I participate in. It's not something that I want to be around. You know,
totally. I commend you for doing that too, because like, and I think what you're creating at I'm going to be at your next week's show, because like I want to see this like interactivity, and like, I mean, I hope you're not changing the formula next month.
Okay, I will say I almost died for real last month. There's 13 videos total, and there's all these like, and the guy, I got to shout out to my homie Shay, who runs all the sound and video and everything for me. He had like 13 different cues to hit and all this kind of stuff. So I'm not going to do that to him next month, but we do have a fake sponsor next month that's going to come up right before Sam does. That I think is going to be
awesome,
quite funny, especially for anybody who remembers Alton Tires.
Oh my God, the Alton Boys.
The Alton Boys.
Neighbors.
They'll jump through hoops. Neighbors helping neighbors.
Yeah, we used to make fun of that all the time. I used to go to school with the Alton Boys.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
man.
yeah, you did.
Yeah. I've been looking everywhere to find that jingle somewhere.
Oh.
I can't find it anywhere. In fact, if anybody has a copy of that jingle, if you could please send it to Spokast.
I think I still have Jeff Alton's phone number on my phone. I can just text him up.
Yeah, hit him up. Oh, please. I would love, I hope he's okay with me. Because it's basically that. The whole thing is not a parody of Alton's Tires, but there's a very clear parody of the Alton's Tires jingle.
Okay.
So it's like a very insider Spokane inside joke.
Awesome.
It's just one more layer of it. But
that's so cool. Well, so funny, joke.
Mm-hmm.
First Thursday of every month.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean.
At the Garland Theater.
Yeah, go to thegarlandtheater.com and you can get tickets there, right?
Yeah, you can get tickets there, or you could go to 3f3j.co. Do not go to 3f3j.com. I'm dead serious. It's pornography. I was really disappointed when I found that out. .co as in comedy, not com as in comedy.
And you can buy tickets at the door, of course, right?
Yeah, you can. It's going to be cheaper to get them through Eventbrite.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Theater's a great way to go too.
Yeah. Well, sweet. I mean, can you tease who's coming in January? Do you know?
Oh, January is going to be really fun. So far, I've been bringing in all this talent outwards, and then a lot of times, like the feature or a guest spot will be somebody like local.
Mm-hmm.
But January is going to be a really fun format. I'm having 7 different local acts on. They're each going to do 7 minutes. And then basically the audience votes on their favorite set.
Oh, wow.
Of that group of people. Yeah. And so then the results of that vote, like basically there's like an intermission where I play one of the ads. No spoilers on what that is, but it's going to be pretty silly. So then while that's happening, I'm going to count up all the chips and everything like that. And then we announce the winner, and whoever wins then goes up and does like a 15 to 20 minute closer set.
Also, they all have that prepared?
So yeah, everybody on it has to have their tightest 7, and then if they're gonna win, they got to have like 15 to 20 ready to go too. So
wow, so
yeah, pressure's on.
That is a lot of pressure.
I wouldn't want to be on that show.
So that will be January 4th.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. That sounds so much fun. Do you know who the comedians are yet? Are you still dialing that out?
I know 5 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could give the ones for sure that are coming.
I don't even want to guess. I was going to guess someone, and then I was like, not going to guess them because I don't want to have guess and then not have them not be on it.
Well, can we pause the recording for a second?
Oh, I guess I could say, was one of them Cameron Sullivan?
I already had Cam on.
Oh, you've already done this before.
Oh, no, I've never done. So Cam is one of the examples of somebody who came in to do a guest spot.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. She was on in October.
Oh, okay, yeah. I saw her, and she did it. It was the same night as Terrain.
Yes, that was a really, really, really hard month for me. We did not have the people that we might have.
I should ask, how was last month's attendance?
It was good. To be completely honest, I would love to get that place not sold out, but the front half of it sold out.
Yeah.
So we close off the back and everything to kind of create that comedy compression, and we just have everybody sit down in the front.
Yeah.
I bring in a stage, my own lighting, my own sound system, and everything to really create the stand-up comedy. It's just a different acoustically and everything. But there's 320 seats in that area up front.
Yeah.
And I would love to fill all 320. Right now, the highest we've got is 250.
Oh, nice.
And it felt so electric.
That's
it was
awesome.
So cool. So I mean, I'm addicted to. I want that every single month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we've already kind of pitched it pretty hard. But what is your pitch to tell
What's
someone
the
to go?
elevator pitch?
What's the elevator pitch?
It's $15. It's something very unique. It's unique to Spokane. It's a celebration of everything goofy and stupid and silly in the world. And it's inclusive. I want to say it's hip. I think the kids are going to like it. It's going to be real good. And hopefully it's something that's here to stay, So, yeah.
And no two drink minimum, I imagine.
None. No, dude, of course. Yeah. Well, see, now I don't want to get in any trouble because I really want to work at the Spokane Comedy Club. But I will say there's no comfier seat to sit down and watch comedy than the seats at the Garland.
That's true, yeah.
Like everything about it. They obviously have the best popcorn. It's a really fun, good time. And $15, you know what I mean? That's not crazy.
And I probably don't want to promote it too hard, but it's also all ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I feel bad because my good buddy Roman, he's like, is it cool if I bring my daughter? I was like, yeah. And I didn't really think it through. And then I mean, it is all ages, but probably you want to be 16 or something.
Okay.
yeah. But it is all age. Technically, any and everybody can come there. But
I mean, I would bring my 8-year-old twins. I mean, they're funny. They would love it. And I don't filter what they listen to or watch.
Yeah. Bring your kids.
If you don't care about giving them trauma, take your kid to the funny joke.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you do another thing here in Spokane that's very comedy oriented. You do the Spokane Comedy Film Festival.
Yes.
I went to was it last year the second annual or
second was last year? Yeah.
Went to last year. Place was freaking packed.
Yes, it was cool.
It was so cool, and I that was right around the time where me and my friend Ashley Graham had been planning for Benny and June.
Nice.
And
right.
I saw all the people in there for the Comedy Film Festival, and it gave me so much hope that if all these people are coming to this, I know all these people will come to Benny and June as well.
Nice.
And I was it made me very, very excited, and it was so much freaking fun to see all these local creators making these short films and even a little bit longer films.
Yeah.
Where did you get did you see? Obviously, you probably saw a gap that this didn't exist in Spokane.
I couldn't believe it didn't exist. When I started doing stand up and everything, I'm like, well, I mean, what else do we have? You know what I mean? We have the improv scene, but we didn't have. I was just very surprised that there wasn't this big concerted effort to be making videos and stuff like that. And so I know that I'm very deadline driven. And so I figured by creating a deadline, maybe it would inspire because all the comics I was meeting and stuff are I have this idea for this video. I want to do this and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But a deadline kind of forces you to get out and do it. And so, yeah, I wanted to give a platform for all of that. And it ended up working out better than I ever could have imagined. It's the coolest thing for me as someone who creates content myself to not have to create any of this content and just see Spokane submit stuff. You know what I mean? And just, it's so great. Like every single time somebody sends a new one in, I'm just giddy with excitement to like see what they came up with and stuff like that, you know?
Last year, how many did you have submitted last year?
We couldn't use them all last year.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have.
What do you cap it at? Or is it probably at like a length, right?
Yeah. So basically, what we've been asking so far has been that there is a hard cutoff of 7 minutes. So 7 minutes or under. But last year there was a pretty healthy amount of good longer ones, and so I put I think 4 or 5 of them at the very end of the show.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to make room for that, and so for this year there will be a short form and a long form, as well as a short form and a long form award.
Nice.
Which is what we did last year. In response to what was coming in. Yeah, I will say though, I'm kind of nervous because submissions are open and very few things have come in this year so far.
They're all hard at work.
I hope so. I really hope so.
How can people submit? Is it going to
Spokane Comedy Film Festival.com. The submission process is super easy. It's all laid out right there. But please submit. I want to be really clear that there's submissions are the only reason that we wouldn't air something is if it's biggity, mean spirited, you know what I mean, something like that, or we just don't have enough space for everything, stuff like that. It's not based off of camera quality.
Okay.
Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and I do my best to go in and like clean up audio and you know what I mean, but don't feel like you need fancy equipment to get it done, you know?
Yeah, last year when I went, there was a wide variety of different quality. There was professional quality.
Yes.
There was,
vertical video.
Vertical. You had a vertical video.
That was Joey Lord. That wasn't me. That was Joey Lord.
My buddy who won at Riley Connors,
that was so good, man.
It was a mix of like animation, but it wasn't really animated. It was like he does
3D like CGs. Yeah, it was amazing.
But it was kind of gritty, but it was I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, it was so good.
And then there's a lot of different quality. My friend Steve Dobbs submitted their My Sacrifice, which was
it was so good. Him and Hugh, man, that was so good.
I did not get the preview it, and it was so freaking funny.
Honestly, when that one came in, I was like, well, crap, because it was 11 minutes. I was like, I can't not show this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's when the floodgates opened for longer submissions, because Hugh Russell, the other guy that worked on that, man, they really brought it. They really came out, and that's why they won the long format last. I mean, it's all user voted, but the users made the right choice.
Totally, for sure.
And then Riley won the short one.
And Riley won the short one.
Really great.
How, when you are putting this together, like how much time and effort goes into it? Because I feel like we make these events happen, and then no one really knows what goes into it.
I was a lot healthier, thinner. I had less gray hair before I started doing this stuff, because basically a lot of people wait till the last minute to submit it. And so as much as I want to get ahead on things, it's just not really optional at times. But honestly, I would say I put more time into it. It takes more from me personally to do the monthly comedy show than it does the film festival. It's a delight to do the film festival. All the heavy lifting is done by Spokane, and you know what I mean. So
it's easy to do.
Yeah, in relative terms. Yeah.
But you have volunteers help at the show, do you? Or is it like you and your wife? You volunteer your wife, voluntold her.
Yeah, no, I feel so. Shout out to my wife Megan. She's amazing.
I voluntold my wife for a lot of things.
I like that. I like that term.
Shout out to all the partners who help their spouses out way too much.
Seriously, the unsung heroes. It's so true. But yeah, no. It is basically a solo effort, but that's not to say that that it needs to be. If anybody wants to help me more, no. But I get a lot of help from the community, friends, other comedians. If nothing else, just kind of sounding boards to run ideas by. The first year, guy Joe Hager, really talented author, He actually just released a new book called Bardo, available at Auntie's bookstore.
Oh.
Bardo by Joe Hager. He helped me do like a press release and kind of got the whole thing, helped me figure out how to launch into that the first year. So there's a lot of people that pitch in and help. But as far as like people like actually on the line to make it happen, it's scarily all kind of on.
I mean, I'll say this. I mean, if you need any help, I'd love to help promote it and do whatever I can do to like.
Having me on this is huge.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like in the Spokane Comedy Film Festival in 2024 is Friday, February 23rd at 7 p.m.
Yes, Friday, not a Thursday, but a proper Friday.
A proper Friday.
Yes, and it's gonna be really sweet so long as people submit stuff. The thing I don't want to do is just have it be a bunch of my own stuff. You know what I mean? That's gonna get really boring to see me up there.
For sure, yeah.
You know? Like, come on.
Maybe I'll submit something.
Yeah, I was gonna say if the best thing anyone can do to help is to create a 7-minute short and submit it. Like,
I'm just gonna make a 7-minute podcast with myself. That'd be, that.
Honestly, that'd be great. Why not interview yourself? Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe I'll get Riley to write me something.
Please do, man. I feel bad. Riley was cooking up something really, really awesome for this thing like 2 months ago, and it ended up not working out to air it. And so I owe Riley something. Yeah,
you don't owe Riley anything.
Well, he was telling me that he's like retiring. He's gonna. I'm like, no, man.
Don't retire, Riley. Don't retire, Riley.
Don't retire, Riley.
We love you. We want your art in Spokane.
Yes, sir.
And your comedy.
Yes.
He needs to do stand up. He's
a funny dude.
I went to a party once with him, and he just every conversation we get into, like I was just like he could just make everyone laugh and just tell his delivery when he does it. I'm like, dude, there's no reason why you couldn't be just an amazing stand-up. Like he's tall and handsome for one. Like, and he has a really great point of view. And like, I feel like he should work more in that world. Like,
are you listening to this, Riley?
I've told him this multiple times. His response was, "I'll write you 5 minutes," and I'm like, I don't want to perform 5 minutes. Like, I don't want a writer. I'm not even that great of a comedian. Like, so, but I want him to do it because I feel like he does. He reminds me of like well, he would say this too, but he like kind of reminds me of like Pete Holmes. Like,
sure.
A poor man's Pete Holmes. Just joking. But who's like I want to just touch a little bit on like what are you into now, like with comedy, like in the comedy world? Like, are you on TikTok every day just watching people, or are you like how are you staying up to date with like current day like comedians?
That's a good question. I don't think I'm really doing a good job of that, to be completely honest. Still a huge Conan fan, and so I listen to his podcast religiously. That's appointment radio for me.
Yeah.
I never miss an episode. I recently started listening to Smartless.
Smartless is great.
Yeah, I was delighted by how just quality that show is. It's really pretty impressive. Although, as a Conan fanboy, it bums me out that they knocked him down from #1. So that part, that's
true.
Sweet, and that bums me out.
Latest episode of WTF with Mark Maron. I don't know if you listened to that.
Yes.
He interviewed Albert Brooks.
Cool.
And Albert Brooks is like one of my favorite comedians. And it's a great interview.
I want to listen to that.
Mark Maron like interviews a lot of great comedians, and I like him as like a podcaster. His stand up is sometimes hard to take in because it's very, very, very serious.
It's better formatted for podcasts, I think.
Yeah. But he's also a really good comedian. I would love to see him in person. I regret that.
I saw him in person.
You saw him at the Spokane Comedy Club?
No. Weirdly enough, this was like 5 years ago. I was at the Grand Hotel getting a coffee, and Mark Maron was there.
Oh.
And I was literally listening to the WTF podcast, and I was like, oh my God, you're. He's like, Mark Maron, hi, nice to meet you. He was super kind, super sweet. And I showed him, and I was like, I started at the beginning because I don't want to miss an episode. He's like, oh, don't worry, I get better. And like he was talking about like his mental health. Like, he's like, I'm a lot healthier now. He was so funny.
That must have been when he was doing stand up at the comedy club.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know why I didn't go to that. I didn't go to it though. Did you not go to it either?
I didn't either, man. I feel like a poser. Like I don't deserve to do stand up because I kind of only really hit the scene recently, and I didn't hit up the club too much beforehand and stuff like that. And like when I would go, it'd be like to see Tom Green. You know what I mean? Not like comic.
Yeah,
like,
I saw the very first show there with Kelsey Cook.
Yeah, she's so good,
and she's really good.
She's amazing.
I've seen some other Chelsea Lynn, saw her. She's a great comedian. I don't like her. I don't like Trailer Trash Tammy, her character. I like her as like a comedian better on her podcast, the Viral podcast. But yeah, I've seen Tim Meadows there. Tim Meadows was he was really, really good. But yeah, I feel like Spokane is this, it's getting, the scene's coming back. We're getting a ton of people coming through, the different places here now, like the Performing Arts Center Comedy Club. You're doing what you're doing at Funny Joke, which is great. And I saw that the casinos are having a lot more comedians come. Nikki Glazer, I think, is here this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, which is past when this comes out. But like, I feel like this comedy scene's like getting reinvigorated here in Spokane. And it's really cool that you're a part of it. Like,
oh, thanks, man. Yeah. I pinch myself every day. It doesn't even feel real, to be completely honest. Like,
outside what you're doing with the film festival and funny joke are you doing any other performing around? I know you were down in Richland sometimes, like you're at the comedy club sometimes as well.
At the comedy club, I'll travel to do comedy and stuff like that. I'll do some festivals and stuff like that.
Do you do open mics?
Oh yeah. Oh, you have to. Yeah. Are
you always at like Spokane Comedy Club?
There are times that I'm not, and that's a problem because it's such an opportunity. You can do New Talent Tuesday. You can also do Wednesdays, and I try to hit every single one. And anytime that I don't, I'm hurting myself because it's just the best opportunity in Spokane to be in front of a real audience and workshop some stuff. So,
do you work with Cam and have you done the queer?
Yeah. 9, it's a great spot. 9's really, really fun. 9's good because you can go to the New Talent Tuesday at the club and then hightail it out of there, switch over to 9, and then from there you can go over to T's Bar and Lounge. So you can hit 3 mics on Tuesday.
I went to great. Not to be an asshole or anything. I went to T's Lounge years ago, 4 years ago, and I saw comedy there. This was before COVID, and I was like, "Oh man, I could get into stand up." So if you want to go try stand up, go to T's Lounge because it's a great.
No, it's true. And go to New Talent Tuesdays. Like honestly, nothing will inspire you more than to see somebody go up and I could give that a shot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. I don't want to.
No, you say that with love. Like nobody was awesome their first time. You can't really practice alone in a vacuum. You have to practice in front of people, and you're not going to be good right out the gate.
Yeah, major respect to anyone who does it. I've never tried stand up. It's like one of those things on my like fake bucket list that I don't actually have that I need to do someday.
That's been me my whole life, and then I turned 34. I'm like, whatever, I'm doing it. I'm gonna try it.
That's awesome, dude. Well, thank you so much for coming on Spokast,
man.
Tell everyone the places again.
Sure. So the Garland Theater, if you've heard of it, first Thursday of every month. That's going to be doors open 6:30. That's at 7:30. And then once again, the Garland Theater, Friday, February 23rd. That's going to be at 7:00. And then, hit up the Spokane Comedy Club. If you haven't already been, show up on a Tuesday, show up on a Wednesday. It's free. It's open mic comedy. It's a good time. And there's a very good chance you'll see me if that's at all appealing to you. And try some comedy if you're thinking about it. If you're thinking about maybe doing that, try some out or get your camera out and make a short. You have until the day before. No, that's not true. You have until about halfway through February to submit stuff to SpokaneComedyFilmFestival.com. I guess truthfully, even if you do submit something the day before, I'll probably try to sneak it in. So please, go there.
But
If you go anywhere, go to
you're gonna
SpokaneComedyFilmFestival.com.
get too many submissions anyways. So you should probably close that a week early.
I don't know. I worry that like 2022 is like this like beacon year, and everybody like pulled things off like the shelf, and like we just spent everything that was in savings. And so yeah, like I'm worried. Also, I didn't even tell you, and I'm sorry to drag on like this.
Oh, you're fine. No,
since it's year 3, it will be year 3D. So portions of the show will be in stereoscopic 3D, those old school red, blue 3D glasses.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty wild. So not only is the ticket only $10 to go to the film festival, but you also get a included pair of red, blue 3D glasses.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Well, again, thank you. Before we end the show, I always ask one last question, and that is, why Spokane?
Why not Spokane?
That's the most common answer I get.
Is that really,
it really is.
All right, shoot. Okay.
No, it's great. I love it. It's true.
Probably. I don't know what else is out there. I'm not a very well-traveled person. There's just a heart to Spokane that I can't quite put my finger on. I'm struggled to speak to it earlier too, but there's something very real and down to earth about the Spokane kind of vibe. And
totally.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. Well, Josiah Carlson, thank you again for being on Spokast.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you to everyone who's listening. Until next time, peace.